We're back, and here is the genoise that has baked, been unmolded immediately after baking, and cooled so that we can brush the syrup. And as I said, the syrup makes it wonderfully moist and tender, but because it becomes tender, it's also more fragile. So when we brush the syrup on, we will not be able to reinvert it. Normally I brush both sides of a genoise when it's baked in a straight-sided pan, but in this fancy design we don't want to ruin any of the beautiful shape. So the way to do that is by unmolding it onto a serving plate after it's cool, and then protecting the plate with a few strips of wax paper. And the way I get it under the cake is using my little offset spatula, which I always have standing by because I use it for almost every cake that I make, in some part of it or other. See, this will be easy to slip back out after the syrup is on the cake, and it keeps the syrup off of the plate. And then I just brush it evenly all over the cake using all of the syrup, because remember that this is the right amount of sugar to sweeten the cake, so it's not just for moisture. Now it's a really good idea, if you can have the time, to do this ahead, like the night ahead, then cover it with plastic wrap that's been lightly coated with nonstick cooking spray to keep it from sticking, because syrup is sticky, and that way it will keep it moist. Or you can put a cake dome over it. It takes a while for it to absorb, so I will just continue on with showing you how dramatic it is when you slice it. I like using a serrated knife. I think that cake cutters are pretty useless, except perhaps to pull out the slice, and so I use a bread knife for my cakes. And especially a sponge cake, because it doesn't squash it down. And pretty as it looks as a whole rose, wait until you see how it looks as a slice. You can cut a fairly large piece because remember it's a much lighter cake than a butter cake. For the first one, I usually use my little offset spatula again to serve it. And actually I just wanted to show you how easy it is to pull out the strips. I'll just do one. And you can see the beautiful texture of the cake and the crazy design when it's lying flat. Isn't that cute? I hope you'll make this cake right away before you forget how really easy it is to do.